Perfect example. Our next topic, clavicular versus Nicole Goode, right? And you say, how does that equate? So, all right, this is to segue our last the gay right wing segment that we just did into this. I need you to listen to one of the leading influencers of young white males, who is a racist, a meth head, and I would say he's a sociopath. I would say he's a sociopath. But he's also an attention whore, which is the worst part of all about it. And then you have Nicole Goode, a lesbian married to a ex-Marine, I believe it was, mother of three, who decided that after she did her motherly duties and dropped her kids off at school, she was going to help mother somebody else and take care of somebody else and watch out for somebody else, and they killed her. Now, the reason why, like I said, clavicular is tying into the first one is because this dude, man. Like, well, I want you to, I have just check these clips out, and we'll come back.
Want to start with the most obvious, the most apparent to most people, which is that you're a good-looking guy. I don't think that makes me gay to say you're a good-looking guy.
And it's very obvious that, you know, the face is more important than the physique. I started taking exogenous hormones, testosterone, when I was 14.
That's like the right-wing version of the transgender argument. The pro-trans people are always saying,
Right.
I got to take the cross-sex hormones when I'm 13 or 14, because if I wait until I'm 18 or 20, it'll be all closed off and I'll never look like the opposite sex. And what you're saying is, well, I had to take all these exogenous hormones when I was 14 so that I could look like the most Giga Chad version of my own sex.
Right.
What is gynecomastia?
That is, you know, the glandular tissue in your nipples growing.
Yeah.
So
That's the gayest shit I ever heard.
Did your parents ever object to that? Or?
yeah, they would take it away all the time. And
Where did you get it?
Just on the internet. So yeah, there was like a time where I went like hypogonadal for a month or two, just because they took my testosterone stash, but I made sure that never happened again.
Hypergonadal?
Hypogonadal, like I didn't have any testosterone production, just for like a month or two. Well, they would just take it away, say no more steroids, like take away the Xbox Classic stuff. But I'm just someone who, you know, is willing to do whatever needs to be done, so I would just reorder it. Right, but what's going to actually get you further in life? What's going to get you opportunities in the workplace? What's going to get you, you know, dates, you know, with prettier women? It's going to be looks 100 times over, and there's really no denying that. Someone to ascend from maybe, you know, slightly below average to above average through looks maxing, or for them to achieve that desired amount of wealth for a supermodel to date them. It just seems like, you know, we should be telling people to go the looks route. So just across the society, I would say we should be advocating for looks. You know, we're talking about across the society, not just like a couple anecdotes of maybe some dumb blue collar like brute, you know, maybe owning his own company. So that just seems a little bit ridiculous to me, to suggest that it would be easier to jump 20 percentiles in terms of income or status than in looks.
Now, the man he is sitting across from, also very gay. Very gay. He made this movie.
You afraid to go inside?
It's not that.
I can leave.
That was... Wow. Thanks. Have you not done it with men?
Mind if we don't get into that?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's not a lot, is it?
Can I get a towel?
and played a gay guy for no particular reason, willingly. And he's not an actor. This is his job here, is to ask good-looking white guys questions and compliment them. Now, the gay energy between the two of them on this whole interview is absolutely insane. But the things that he's saying, to the point where he says, I won't vote for J.D. Vance because he looks like subhuman, and says that Gavin Newsom, even though he's against everything that he's for, because he looks good and he basically puts down ugly guys.
Yeah, but I mean, like this next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
J.D. Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio. He's obese, very recessed side profile, whereas Newsom is like 6'3" Chad.
Because that's what mogging is. Let me make that clear. That's what it is. It's dumb. It shows you how superficial, and like these guys are worse than gay. Like you're fucking those fake gay guys that they put all over on TV and everything to make everything flamboyant gays. Like that's like he's worse than that. This man does more makeup than my mother. This man is concerned with being good looking and believes that if he's good looking, life will be better for him. When the world is run by white men, why will it be better for you if you are better looking? I will wait for the explanation on that.
Say it with your chest.
You know why? Because their whole existence is about fucking you. This is why all these rich men are coming out in the Epstein files, because they just want to fuck you. You're just a piece of ass to them. And you're saying, no, I'm a man. Yeah. Even more so, they want to fuck you. Which leads me also back to why, and you know what, we'll leave that somewhere else. But this is, if you listen to Clavicular, this is the voice of a generation right here. This is also him trying to be provocative with his little Nazi gang. Funny thing about that Nazi gang is only one of them's actually white. And what he would have been to the Germans would have been like a side chick, because they fucked men. They did meth and they fucked each other out in the field. Do you know how gay Germany got after the war ended? Bro. They're like the gay mascots. And I'm talking about the crazy shit, the kinky shit, all that. It's like you guys just, oh my God, man. Clavicular is the guy you want to look up to. This man is not a man. He can't defend himself. He can't defend anyone else. He acts, all of the guys they look up to have black bodyguards. They don't see the irony. And then these black bodyguards don't see the irony that they're always protecting them against racists for saying racist stuff. And you will take money to say, fuck your people. The imagery is astounding. But Clavicular, trying to beef with some other podcaster, got into an altercation and ended up running this podcaster over, and does it on live, and then says after it, when the girl says, did you run him over? He says, I hope so, on camera. And now his defense is it was a mistake. And he's going to get off because he's white. And see, what he knows is that, once again, all you got to do is go in there looking super pretty and look blink, 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 blink. And they're going to be like, oh, he didn't mean to do that. He's like us. He's one of us. But Nicole Goode did not run a man over. Tried to leave a tense situation, and she was shot, and you guys justify it. How is that? How is it that you justify one situation or give no fucks about one situation, in the other situation, you're so clear that that person was wrong? The man even called her a fucking bitch after he shot, and you said he didn't mean to do that. He shot her 3 times when one was only necessary. And then, looking at the direction of the car that the truck went, you could tell which way she was driving because after she got shot, did she turn it? Because the car didn't jerk. The car was already headed that way. They knew it. And then they let the car careen off, which is even more of a disturbing to me because what if there was a child down there? What if there was an old lady down there? What, they weren't even concerned about the public. Everything about this says they didn't concern about the public. You do not shoot in the middle of a street during the daytime hours when there's no other gun. Because you could have shot someone. If you missed with those shots, you could have shot anybody. But the sickness of this country is you will justify one and be fine with another. The same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse and Alex Peretti. Alex killed no one and you call him a terrorist. Kyle Rittenhouse went to a place to cause trouble, killed 2 people, shot another, and you call him a hero. It's because one was defending white people and the other one was defending minorities. That's the only clear way to it. Until you call these things out and say it to people. And I'm not talking about black people or minorities. Yes, they can help. They should too. But this is a white people problem. Every American problem is a white people problem. And even if you want to go say black on black crime, yeah, that's a you problem. You created that because of poverty and corporate omission. And the narratives that you feed our young black people of what they're supposed to be and what they're allowed to be. Charlie Kirk, the things he said about black people was intentional, so that black people would believe in that bullshit inferiority. But white people are 70% of the population in America, and the great things in America that are done and created and carried out are not by white people. It should be by all white people, right? If you're so great, but it's not. Even the skills that you have and you learn from some minority, someone else, and you're taking it and calling it your own because you just hate minorities that much. But this case right here of clavicular against Nicole Goode shows how much you guys are hypocrites, how steep you are in hypocrisy. And this is a proving of my point, and you guys can quote me on this. White people hate something more than they hate Jews, and they hate niggas. And that's a nigga lover. They kill them and destroy them with relish. And if you think I'm wrong, look at the history books.
Stop the cap.